We begin with breaking news this evening. Action News 5 was the first to bring you this breaking news today. The chief judge over the federal courts of West Tennessee granted new trials for 3 of the former 5 Memphis police officers charged in the death of Tyre Nichols. Action News 5's Amani Williams with the ruling issued by Judge Sheryl Lipman, who replaced Judge Norris, the judge who handled the federal trial. Amani.
Well, you remember just days before sentencing on those federal charges, Judge Norris recused himself from the case after presiding over the trial. Now, Lipman was then appointed to the case, and she now says Demetrius Haley, Justin Smith, and Tadarius Bean should have a new trial in their federal case involving the beating death of Tyre Nichols. Now, the sentencing date was reset several times, but there was a lot happening behind the scenes. According to court documents, before the first sentencing date, one of Norris's law clerks was the victim of auto theft, aggravated burglary, and attempted murder. Documents say Norris was frustrated with the Memphis Police Department's investigation into this incident. Now, during a meeting with the U.S. Attorney's Office and the FBI with Judge Norris regarding the incident, documents say, quote, Judge Norris indicated that his theory or belief was that at least one of the defendants in this case was in a gang and that the gang was responsible for the shooting of his clerk, end quote. Well, it also notes that in May, Norris said MPD is, quote, infiltrated to the top with gang members. Just weeks later, he recused himself from the case. Attorneys of Bean, Smith, and Haley filed motions for noting that Norris has biased against the defendants after reading that notice. Now, I'll toss it over to Jerry Askin, who is standing by with a legal expert. Jerry.
Monty, thank you. This is a big development today. And, I covered that 19-day federal trial and was in the courtroom every day of those 19 days and heard testimony. I want to toss it over right now I'm joined now by Michael Working, who is a criminal defense attorney, but has no relation to this case, but is weighing in today, giving us an expert opinion on this legal case. Thanks for coming in, Michael.
Thanks for having me.
This is a really big deal. The first question is that, we saw this coming, especially after Judge Norris recused himself.
Right. When a judge recuses themselves, they acknowledge their own bias or prejudice in a case and that they should no longer proceed over the trial. So when a judge acknowledges that and then it was transferred to another division, that was sort of the shocking day. And then now is the fallout from what the new judge has decided, free from bias and prejudice.
And as we know, officers Bean, Smith, and Haley were on that federal trial. So what are some of the consequences now for a new trial?
So I think the biggest consequence that has not yet been discussed is they were acquitted of certain charges. Even Mr. Haley, who was he was convicted in all of the counts, but on lesser charges. After a jury has decided the facts, double jeopardy attaches, and they will not face the full amount of charges that they faced the first time. They would just come back. I believe 2 of the officers would only stand trial for witness tampering.
Correct.
And Mr. Haley would stand trial not for civil rights violations causing death, but civil rights causing serious bodily harm.
Yeah, and Bean, Smith, and Haley were all convicted on those witness tampering federal charges.
There's a lot less exposure for them by going back to trial this time.
And also many are asking, this is a big development as well, that Judge Lipman chose, or the government chose, to unseal these documents.
Well, in America, we always want to have open courts and open access to courts. I think that this is such a rare occasion to allege impropriety of this kind against a judge that the defense attorneys did a very smart and prudent thing by having it under seal. They weren't trying to attack the judge's character. They weren't trying to, allege some widespread corruption. And so but they had to defend their client, and they did so in a professional way under seal.
And I've got to ask you real quick, what does this mean for Judge Norris?
Well, I don't know. I think that's the big X factor. I think he's expressed some hostility in this order to Memphis Police Department. Usually, defense attorneys think that the police are being treated too generously by judges, and they're believed too often too much deference. Okay. So it's a rare occasion of the government may have their work cut out for him if they go in front of this judge for criminal cases in the future.
Okay, thank you, Attorney Michael Williams, for coming in. Thank you so, Michael Working. Thank you so much.
Sure.
Joyce, back to you.
Jerry, thank you, and Attorney Working, thank you as well. Action News 5 is following this breaking news closely. Again, we broke it today. We will stay on this to find out what happens next in the case. We'll have more coverage coming up on Action News 5 at 6. If you want to see more about today's developments or watch any of our previous coverage, you can do so on the Action News 5 app. Just scan the QR code right there on your screen, or you can always check your phone's app store.